my name's Tanya and this is Just Let Me Sew. Thank you very much for joining me today. If you are new, welcome along, and if you're returning, thank you very much for coming back. I hope everyone's well and has had a lovely new year. I wonder what you got up to. Nothing much very exciting in our house. We've got two small children, so we don't really do much. If we try and get them to stay up late, they never lie in the next morning, so we just kind of stick to the usual bedtimes, let them stay up a little bit later. But yeah, sure enough, they were up at the usual time of 7 o'clock, so nothing very exciting went on here, but it was nice nonetheless. I will start off as usual by saying what I'm wearing, and this is the Lynn sweater, a raglan sweater. Lynn sweater, I think it is by Bobbins and Buttons. I will try and insert a picture here. This is one of my favourite sweater patterns. I think I have about 4 versions of it. Actually, I would have had 5. This one was to replace an exactly the same version I had, apart from it had a glittery star on it. If you go to my Instagram, you'll see it, one of the first things I posted on Instagram. And I loved that sweater so much. It got all bobbly and very stained and I had to retire it. So I made another version. And I cannot remember where I got this fabric from. Actually, no, I do. I got it on Goldhawk Road. I think it's a sort of poly blend because it hasn't bobbled at all. It's worn really, really well. So that's what I'm wearing. Right, so today I wanted to talk to you about some of recent purchases that I have made. So I have to admit, I have slipped on my fabric ban, and I took advantage of some of the Boxing Day sales that were going on. I just couldn't resist. Some of the discounts were really good and they were things that I had wanted. They were gaps in my wardrobe, let's justify it like that. So I'll show you some of those fabrics that I bought, and I will also incorporate in that some of the plans that I have for those fabrics, because I am trying to be more purposeful with my purchases, of having something specific in mind that I want to use the fabric for, to make sure it doesn't just end up in my stash looking at me, making me feel guilty because I haven't got anything planned for it. So the first thing I want to show you was from Simple Life Fabrics. It's run by Sarah. She does some beautiful fabrics. I've talked about her on this channel before. Really reasonably priced and always beautifully packaged as well. And she had an amazing sale on, and I picked up this viscose fabric, which I had actually seen before, and I think I'd added it to my basket a couple of times before and then said, no, I don't need it. But then when there was a sale on, I thought, well, I've got to. So it's this beautiful, really soft, very good quality viscose with these lovely big flowers. And I think I bought 3 meters, maybe even 4. I can't remember, I'm afraid. But the reason for that is because I want to make a dress, and it's the Amy dress. I will insert a picture for you. I picked up that pattern at the Knitting and Stitching show. It's similar to the Chalk and Notch fringe dress, I think. It's a very relaxed fit. It's got a V-neck, button down with gathered tiers to it, and it's long sleeve. So I'm going to try and make that up. So it's lovely, soft, really good drape to it. I don't think she had much of that fabric left, but I have a feeling I have seen it elsewhere on the internet. So if you can't find it there, then have a hunt around and you will be able to find it. I don't know if anyone else knows this trick. My stepdad told me about this amazing trick that you can use Google Lens to help you find something elsewhere on the internet. So I've had to do this before with a fabric. I think it was an art gallery fabric that I loved, but I didn't know the name of. And instead of just searching for cotton jersey, spotty, flowery fabric, I had a little scrap of it left and I took a picture of it, went into Google Photos. I think you go to your library and then your lens, and it finds the picture from your gallery and it searches the internet for it. And that's how I found more of the fabric, which was amazing. Such a good trick. You can do it for anything, really, anything that you found on the internet and you want to perhaps compare prices, find it somewhere else. You just take a screenshot of it if it's on the internet and go to your lens and do it that way. So I've done it recently. I think there was a really nice plant that I liked at a National Trust garden, and I did that and found out what it was called. Really handy. So a little tip for you. I haven't explained very well how to do that. I'm sure if you have a quick Google, you will find instructions of how to use Google Lens to find things on the internet. Anyway, that's enough of that. The next fabric I bought was from Lamazi Fabrics. Now, I bought this with a specific project in mind. I will show you. It is a beautiful rib knit fabric with these lovely like splodges. Matches my nails quite well and my jumper. I'm quite lilac today. I love rib knit fabrics, and I find in this country there's a bit of a shortage of patterns. You can find stripes, plains, perhaps the occasional spotty version, but not that much variety. I think in America they have a bit more. I sometimes look at Olga's Closet, and that shop is based in America, and they have loads of different rib knits, like nice florals, all sorts of patterns, but their shipping to get to the UK would be just extortionate for me. So I jumped on it when I saw this pop up on the Lamazi website. I think I only bought 1.5 meters because I'm just going to make a long sleeve, and I am going to use the Trudy turtleneck by Wardrobe by Me. I think that's what it's called. I always stumble over that name. Again, I'll include a picture. But I'm not going to make the turtleneck version because I want this to be a bit more versatile. I don't like wearing turtlenecks under sweaters. I don't like it peeking out, and I want to be able to wear it with anything really. So I'm going to omit the turtleneck and maybe just widen the neck a little bit. So just a long sleeve t-shirt it will be. But the reason I'm using the Trudy is because it has good negative ease in it, and rib knit, you want it to be a bit tighter fitting. Otherwise it's a bit loose, and it does stretch quite a lot, rib knit. So I'm going to use that pattern for that one. That'll be a nice quick easy make, and I plan on doing that fairly soon, she says. Next one is from First for Fabrics. It's this lovely lilac. Again, there's a definite theme in my colours at the moment. Lilac animal prints from First for Fabrics, as I said. It's a cotton jersey, good stretch, nice weight to it. I think actually, sorry, that's the right side, but not that you can really tell the difference. And again, I got 1.5 meters of that. And what I'm going to make with that is another version of one of my recent makes, which I'm going to include in my next upcoming vlog, which will be about my recent makes. But if you go over to my Instagram, you will be able to see the full details of it. I'll insert a picture here, but I made my own version of the solar tee, which I have talked about before on this channel. So I want to make another version of it using this. So if you don't know what the solar tee is, it's drop sleeved t-shirt pattern. You can make it short sleeve or long sleeve, I think. I made the long sleeve version, and I made my own ruffle, which sits just where that drop sleeve is, and it's just a standard round neck t-shirt, standard length, and I drafted my own pattern using a t-shirt I already had. But if you go to Instagram, you can read the full details on there. If not, I'm going to talk about it in my next makes video. So that's that one. Love that. Okay, so the next fabric I bought is my Take Two for the Winnie pants by Made for Mermaids, Made by Mermaids. Again, I can't remember the names, sorry, they're too long for my little brain to remember. I will insert a picture here. So if you've watched my previous vlogs, you will know that I really slipped up on my first attempt at making these trousers. I, first of all, didn't buy enough fabric. I think it calls for 2.5 meters, 2 meters, and I bought like 1.5 meters. And then second of all, I cut it out in the wrong direction. So instead of the stretch going across, I cut them out with the stretch going vertically. Not the end of the world, but it is kind of annoying. I do wear the trousers that I made just around the house, but when you go to put them on, it really drags when you put them on, and occasionally I do sort of step on the backs and they really stretch with you, which probably wouldn't happen if I cut them the right way round. So from First for Fabrics as well, I bought some more of the original fabric. I could have gone for a different colour, but I really like this dark bottle green, coming out a bit emeraldy, but it's sort of a dark green. I really like this colour, and I also really like, if I can find an edge, how soft it is on the inside. It's that brushed French terry, really, really lovely and soft. So I'm going to have another go at making up the Winnie pants, and this time I am going to do the pin tucks on the front, and I'm going to go for the same version as I intended to do the first time, which is not an elasticated waist. It's just using the fabric itself to make up the waistband, and then it has a drawstring. And my original idea for the Winnie pants was I wanted to replicate a pair of ready-to-wear trousers from Marks and Spencer's from M&S, which I'm actually wearing today, and I'll attempt to show you. They have got this stripe down the side, so it's like a cross grain, can't remember, a ribbon down the side with piping. And I have found a ribbon which I haven't got to hand actually. I will go and grab that for you. Here we are. So I'm going to use this ribbon down the side of the trousers. So we'll sort of replicate that ribbon effect that my ready-to-wears have as well. So that's that. And then the other thing I bought from First for Fabrics was a little patch from the Specky Seamstress. So you may know the Specky Seamstress does bias binding, really lovely bias binding with pictures and little phrases on it. And she's also started doing little patches to go in jackets, coats. And I bought this one, which says, "Treat me with kindness and yourself too," which is really cute. And it's got pinked edges. So I would just sew that in to a jacket. And I have got a jacket in mind that I want to make. So I will show you the fabric that I want to make a jacket with in a minute. The last fabric that I bought, and I apologise, there's a lot of fabric and you might be sitting there thinking that's an excessive amount of fabric, but I haven't bought fabric for a lot of fabric for quite a while, and I think this is going to be it for now for quite a while. I've got lots of projects to be getting on and keep me busy with, so let this be a solemn oath to myself in front of you as witness that I'm not going to buy fabric for a while now. This is my last piece of fabric. Now this is a lovely piece of cotton gingham, and again it's coming out quite emerald on here, but it's I don't know what you call that colour, green, just a sort of mid-green cotton, and you can see the nice weave going through it. And this is to try and copy a top that my mum has. She was wearing it the other day and it was just beautiful, and I thought I've got a pattern exactly like that in my stash that I could use to try and imitate it. And it's this one, McCall's M7325. So it looks like quite a summery top, sorry, but you can do it with long sleeves, and it's lovely and floaty. It's got this little sort of V-neck, what do you call that kind of opening, a slash at the top. And I actually made this top up for my sister back in the summer. And when I finished making it, I thought, oh, that's so lovely. It's really pretty. I'd like to make one for myself. And I already had it in my stash. I just hadn't got around to making it. And it's very, very similar to the top that my mum was wearing in this exact fabric. I mean, not exact, but it was very similar to it. And I got that fabric from a new to me fabric shop called Legend Textiles. And I can thank Sam at Sequin Girly Creates for putting me onto that fabric shop. She posted on her stories, I think it was on her stories, a pair of trousers, I think it was, that she'd just made. And I asked her where she got the ponte from. So I headed over to Legend Textiles, that's where it's from. They didn't have the colour I wanted, but while I was there, I found that. And I think, if I remember rightly, it was about £2, £2.50 a metre. I did have to buy quite a lot though, because it's only 30 inches wide. Gingham is often a bit narrower. So I had to double the meterage that I would have needed to make up that full width that it would normally be. So I suppose it was still only about £4, £5 a metre, which is still really good for cotton, and it's good quality cotton. So those are my recent fabric purchases and what I am planning on making with them, which will hopefully keep me busy, and hopefully I will get all of those things done. I am going to be held accountable by this vlog that I'm going to make them. So what else I want to make up is an Ilford jacket for myself. So if you've watched my previous vlog, the one before this one, I made up an Ilford jacket for my husband for his Christmas present, and I loved it. I thought it was really, really lovely, and I knew I wanted to make myself one when I was cutting it out for him. And I had thought about buying a new fabric for it, but then I remembered I had in my stash beautiful pink boiled wool, which I bought at Fabrics Galore in Battersea, not this summer, the summer before that. And it's been sitting there because I had wanted to make the Nova coat out of it. I didn't buy enough fabric. I only bought 2 meters, and the Nova really does need a little bit more than that. I had thought about doing like colour blocking with it, but I struggled on the internet at least to be sure that it was the same kind of boiled wool, because boiled wools can be slightly different in texture. So I didn't want them to be different in texture. So I just thought, no, I'm not going to risk it. And I haven't got any fabric shops in person where they stock boiled wool near me. So I thought, right, I will use it to make the Ilford jacket, and it is so pretty. It's such a lovely colour, really lovely. And as chance would have it, my mum had bought a while ago some Sherpa fabric, which I didn't know she had, and she asked me over Christmas if I would like it. It's got a slight stretch to it, which is fine for a lining, doesn't really matter too much. And I'm going to interline the Ilford the same way that I did my husband's jacket. So I'll put the link to that video above. But what I did with his jacket was I interlined it, which means when you cut out your bodice back, for example, you cut out one in the fabric, the main fabric, and you cut out another one in your lining fabric. And within the seam allowance, you baste them together. And then when you sew up the whole garment, you just sew it as one pattern piece. So I'm going to do the same with this one. So it will be lined with just a cream coloured Sherpa on the back and the front pieces. And then for the sleeves, I have got some lining fabric in my stash, which I've had for years. Excuse me, bending down. It is just this poly spotty one. So that will be in the sleeves. Nice bit of fun to have on the sleeves there. So that will be my Ilford jacket. Now, realistically, I'm not going to actually wear the Ilford jacket until the spring, probably. And the reason for that is, first of all, it's probably not warm enough for the weather at the moment. Although actually the weather's been quite mild in the UK lately. But the main reason is because my lifestyle at the moment, I am not working at the moment. So when I go out, I'm dropping my kids off at school and picking them up. And with the weather we've been having at the moment, that involves a lot of rain. And I don't want to be taking a boiled wool jacket out in the rain. I don't think it would do it any good. So I'm just wearing my ready to wear coat and an umbrella. Hopefully by the spring, it won't be that rainy. I mean, who am I kidding? It's the UK. It's probably going to be raining as well. but I thought if I get it made now, the Ilford jacket is still fresh in my memory of when I made it for my husband. There's nothing too tricky about the Ilford. I don't think I would stumble over anything if I left it, but I would just like to do it now while I still remember and it's fresh in my mind. So I'm going to get that sewn up fairly soon. And then the last of my plans, gosh, I have got a lot planned, haven't I? I'm definitely going to be busy sewing. The last of my plans, I think I may have mentioned this fabric in a previous vlog, but if you haven't seen that vlog, then it is a really chunky navy cord, which I will show you. So it is really chunky navy. So one bit is, I don't know what you call these, wale. One wale is chunky, and then it has a little one in between, and then chunky again. So it's quite unusual. I hadn't seen too much of that before. And I bought that from myfabrics.co.uk, and I bought it when they had that Halloween special offer on. And I have got planned to make with these another pair of sunshine jeans, and I think I want to make the slouchy jeans. So I say I think because this is where I would welcome your opinion on it. I'm not sure I want to make the slouchy because this is quite chunky, and is it going to make a slouchy pair of trousers look even bigger than they already are? Is it going to look a little bit too big and bulky and unflattering? I don't know. What do you think? It's a toss-up between the sunshine jeans or maybe doing the Persephone jeans. I do want them to be sort of ankle length, and I'm not sure if I can really pull off the Persephone wide leg as an ankle. I don't think I've quite got that style going on. I'm not trendy enough for that, I don't think. So it's either the sunshine jeans or the Persephone trousers. I have those two patterns already. I don't want to buy a new pattern. I want to use what I've already got. So what do you think? Let me know. Sunshine jeans or Persephone? My first thought was the sunshine jeans. And I do sometimes feel like you should just go with what you first thought. Go with what you wanted to do originally. So I will make those. I will do a slightly simplified version of the sunshine jeans if I do make that. I won't bother top stitching like you do if it's a denim fabric, so that will definitely save me time. And I won't do the coin pocket because I thought that was a bit pointless, as I said in my previous vlog. So save a little bit of time on those as well. So opinions are welcome for that. Right, that is all of my fabrics that I have bought, and it is a lot. Lots of makes, so I'm going to be kept busy. I think some of them will be quite quick. The Winnie pants, the t-shirts won't take long. The more involved makes are definitely going to be the Ilford and the trousers, so we'll see how I go with those, but definitely want to get started on those. So that's me for today. I hope you've enjoyed watching. If you have, please do hit the like button and also consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. I am so touched by the amount of people that have watched my videos so far. Just starting out in YouTube, it's quite nerve-wracking, to be honest. You put these videos out there, you don't know how people are going to receive them, how they're going to react to them. So it really does mean a lot to me that people watch my videos, they've subscribed, and also that you take the time to comment. I really love those comments that I get through from you. I love replying and interacting with everybody. So if you have left me a comment in the past, thank you very much. It really does mean a lot to me. So I will see you next time. My next vlog is probably going to be my recent makes. So I will see you then. Until then, take care and happy sewing. Bye.